Howdy, party peoples.
What the deal?
So Corin got a fresh haircut, which means we'll
Yeah.
start the show do like we do every week, where we talk about hair or something. Looks good, man.
Thanks. I got. I told you, like back in the day, I used to be all about my shit. I would have to go to the barber, and it'd have to be like fresh and whatever, and I was all about it. But now I'm on some like I don't give a fuck shit. I go like I
Yeah,
said, a
we're
girl would
adults.
never cut my hair. Girl cuts my hair. I go to like some generic, like super cuts. It's called
Yeah.
sports. It's called sports clips, and it's like
They're the
an old
generic version of the generic version. Like that's
it's
super
it's
generic.
fucking generic. Like they've got like baseball photos on the wall and like
Yeah. Little kids in
stadium
there
seats, little kids
with lollipops.
and it's all like attractive women who cut hair, so it's creepy old men. But I just really go there because it's the closest shit to my house.
Yeah, and you just want a haircut. And what do they charge there?
So they've got like the stereotypical names. It's called like Grand Slam, Home Run, like shit that like
Just
I feel like I went back in time with haircuts.
yeah, but it's like $20.
It's 18, and then I give $5, so it comes to like $23.
Okay, see that's not bad. But what I noticed is, at least in my experience, black barbershops and Spanish barbershops charge less, and they do a significantly better job.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
how it works with fucking anything. If you go to like a slamming Mexican restaurant or like a little hole in the wall shit,
Yeah,
it's probably like $3 or $2 for like
and it's a
some
delicious
banging
meal.
tacos and burritos. If you go
Yeah.
to some high end expensive shit, you get a fucking terrible job for dumb expensive.
Yeah, and I was asking you earlier in the week. I was like, because I was thinking about just getting the skin tight fade back, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, are we too old for that? Like, we're just at that point where a skin tight fade could be like, what are you doing? It's almost like you're trying a little too hard to look a little too young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there is a range for there's like I feel like there's a certain age where you hit it and you do the skin tight fade, and even if it looks good, people are like, why do you have a skin tight fade? You know what I mean?
But it's almost like it's like just a regular-ish type of haircut where people would just be like, okay, it sort of looks like what he usually gets, just maybe a little bit more skin.
Right.
Whereas if you did some OD shit, like try to bring back like a mushroom cut or try to like dye your hair or some shit, like Backstreet Boys.
I was gonna say, you remember the old Nick Carter haircut with the part in the middle and then the hair like whoop falling on both sides? I used to have that as a kid.
That was like one, like looking back on those photos, that's almost some shit where you're like, I don't think that'll ever come back.
Well, you know what it is. I learned it.
I take that back because hipsters will do anything.
Yeah, it'll come back. But I learned it after the fact that, like, oh, certain hairstyles just don't work with certain types of hair. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, okay, I just don't, my hair was like, it is and was like a little too thick for that kind of a Nick Carter fucking, middle part. It's like certain parts of my hair, like, don't fucking, like, my old barber said it to me. He's like, there's one spot on your head. He would give me the skin tight fade. And he's like, there's one part on your head. I'm not sure if it's the right or the left. I think it's the right. Where, like, up here in this zone, there's, like, thicker hair than everywhere else on my head. So
I
he
believe
would
it.
fade it perfectly. And then he'd look, and there'd be, like, a dark dot, like, on my head. And he'd be like, what the fuck? And it said it took him like 4 or 5 times doing it to realize. So, like, he found a way to work around it. Like, he would cut that part a little shorter than the rest of it to make it look even. But he's like, yeah, just one part on your head is just not conducive to having your shit look a certain way. And
Well,
it's
yeah, I mean, that's how hair works. If you see, like, we always talk about those weird ass bowl cut hair cuts where it's just bald, and like there must be more hair follicles in this back area, and people have a tendency to lose more hair in the front back. So it's like that doesn't surprise me that one part of your hair grows longer than the other part, because it's just like hair is fucking weird, and like I've got hair on my arms, but then right at my wrist it just stops. It's like so.
I got, what is up with that? And the hair on my arms is blonde, but the hair on the rest of my body's not. It's like, what the fuck is that
Yeah,
shit?
it's weird.
And then there's a lot of dudes who have red facial hair. They have like red facial hair and just brown hair. It's like, I don't understand
Hair's
that.
weird. Yeah, you're right with hairstyles though. Like when you see white people try to pull off like cornrows or something like that, you're just like, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know, dog. Don't like. Okay, the only dude who pulls off a lot of shit that other white dudes can't pull off is probably Justin Timberlake, and even him with the cornrows was like, and pump your brakes.
I wonder why braids became. I feel like it's a more like ethnic thing, like
braids.
Yeah, for guys,
well, I feel like,
like cornrows. I wonder what like is it just because you have a lot of hair that it's almost like too hot, so you put them in cornrows.
I have no idea.
We sound so weird, but like I wonder.
I feel like a lot of white girls do different kinds of braids.
Yeah,
not those, not cornrows, but like other kinds of braids. I think.
I guess when you have just a lot of hair, you start fucking around with it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do at a certain point propecia. But I don't know. Yeah. But I don't like. But that's my thing is I never know if I'm losing hair or if I'm not losing hair. Like sometimes I'll throw some water on my hair.
I take that shit.
I throw some water on my hair and then like 5 or 6 strands will come out and I'll be like, that's a little too much for comfort. Like it's one thing if it's 1 or 2 or maybe 3. You're like, okay, 3 strands of hair, whatever. But sometimes like, oh shit, 5 or 6. What the fuck is that about? So. Yeah. One of my friends, he said, "Oh, I'm losing my hair." It didn't look at all like he was losing his hair, but he thought, well, I lost enough where I wasn't comfortable. He went on Propecia, and now he's just on Propecia. He just takes the pill. With some people, there's some side effects. They say that like the worst side effect is you wouldn't be as horny or like your dick doesn't work, which is a pretty bad side effect. But like I feel like most people that doesn't happen to them though. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I would try.
I don't know. It's
I don't
weird.
know if I need it though.
I mean. I don't. Yeah. Besides, like the side effects, I don't think it's bad to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I started looking at on some like in a weird way. I've been following like Manu Ginobili recently. So like
talk about head issues.
Yeah. So he's retiring, and they sort of did like a whole.
That was his last game yesterday, right?
Well, supposedly, like he still could play. He hasn't officially retired, but they showed like a montage of all of his clips. And he is like the first, like when he first came out, his shit was full. Like he's had every different stage of hair. So I've been trying to gauge like people on like how long it's taken them for their hair to lose.
The Ginobili scale.
The Ginobili scale in a way. Because like I looked at every single stage. I was like, how is it possible that he had so much hair and it was like flowy and all this shit. And then he had like the flip and then he had like shaggy in the front and it looked full and good, and now it's just like he started balding back here, and now his whole shit is bald, and it's just like it's crazy to me because his shit was full.
Yeah, it's time, man. Time is a motherfucker.
And in a weird way, I feel like I don't know. I can't accuse him of anything, but like maybe he was doing like some steroids or some type of shit.
It's possible. I mean, there are one side effects is gyno, which is like the weird nipples. And smaller balls. Your balls like kind of recede into your shit a little bit.
That's a side effect of steroids?
Steroids, yeah. Because what happens is I think your testicles create testosterone, and steroids are synthetic testosterone, basically. So your body gets overflowed with testosterone, and then it's a natural reaction
from your balls
for your body's mechanisms to go, whoa, we don't need to make this anymore. We already have way more than we know what to do with. And so like your balls like fucking shrink up and yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and hair loss I think is one of the side effects too.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the things I was worried about when I started working out again. I'm like, I feel like I might start losing hair now because apparently there's some kind of certain kind of testosterone that leads to hair loss, like a byproduct of testosterone or something. I don't know all the details of it, but I just thought like, well, maybe if I work out, that'll be one of the things. Like another thing I realized is I started getting a little more acne now again since I've been working out.
Well, yeah, that's just becomes. I mean, I used to get that when I would work out and sweat and like put my t-shirt on or something like that. I'd get some like on my back or something. That's just natural.
Yeah. But back in the day, I had terrible acne. We've spoken about that before.
Yeah.
But I took Accutane. Accutane was a fucking charm for me, man.
That supposedly has side effects though too and stuff, right?
Well, that's what that's the whole big scandal about it, and why a lot of dermatologists are very hesitant to prescribe it. Some won't even prescribe it. Is that there was this big thing about how somebody was on Accutane and they like killed somebody or committed suicide, and so that was like they put that as like a side effect. but I think it was like an anecdotal or like super rare thing, and I took it, one of my friends took it, and I had no problems with it at all. The only side effect was chapped lips. Everything other than that, it was a literal cure for me. Like I went from having terrible acne, the cyst ones that are deep, like you feel it and it's like fucking deep and it hurts.
Yeah.
And I took that, boom, cleared it up. It was a lifesaver for me, man. It was a life changer.
Yeah, that's pretty clutch. Yeah. I remember when that first came out, that was like the shit. Like if they do all these
Proactive, I think. You're
Proactive. Yeah,
I'd use that shit too, but just because it smelled good.
Oh, but they had all the like the heartthrobs in their commercial, and like that was like.
But that was the bullshit thing. That's the bullshit thing is like they were masters at marketing. Because like Proactive's good, but it's good for like mild acne. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to have mild acne for Proactive to do some shit for you.
But they were everywhere. I feel like it was just like...
They still are, I think. I think they still have fucking, stars using that shit.
Yeah. They'll have like random, like Jessica... not like Jessica Biel or Jessica Simpson or just like...
They'll have
big timers.
Like they'll have people like that,
It's all fucking... what's it? Propaganda. It's all fake shit.
Well, definitely, yeah, like... you read the ingredients of a lot of those things they sell over the counter for acne, and it's like the same ingredients in every one.
And a lot of the doctors, like, so I went to a dermatologist, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago. They work with these companies to, like, promote their shit. So, like,
same with doctors, dude. Yeah.
It's fucking grimy. Like,
that is grimy.
Because I don't know necessarily what fucking medicines are out there. Yeah, but if you've got a backdoor deal with Proactive, every fucking client that comes into your dermatologist, if you're just like, I'm going to put you on Proactive, I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Now I'm stuck with this company that I didn't fucking choose.
That's right. It's not, to be fair to Proactive, they're over the counter, so that's not that.
Yeah, not Proactive, but there was some other shit
medication,
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens with doctors too. Like they'll prescribe shit for, like they'll steer you in the direction of the product, which is the one that gives them a kickback if they sell it. So like if somebody wants, whatever, somebody needs an anti-anxiety pill, and this one works for me, the other one didn't work for me well, they'll still try to steer you to the one that like they get the kickback from because they have a deal with the company. So yeah, that's fucked up because that's not the way medicine's supposed to work at all.
No,
it's supposed to be on the up and up, and like let me just give you what you need.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But a lot of shit nowadays is just like fucking reaching deals with people, and like I don't know, I don't even have. They put some pamphlet in my hand and they're like, yeah, this is what you'll do if you want to do this. And I was like, okay. I mean, are there any other options or like, and it was just like, that was the fucking only thing I had to do was I forgot what the company was, but it was like a pamphlet. And if I wanted to, I don't know.
Yeah. It's,
sort of pissed me off.
No, that's a good reason to be pissed off. Okay. Here's one of the things that I wanted to ask you about. Actually, you know what? I'm pissed about this a little bit. Like, Jorts, jean shorts. Why is that like the symbol of everything that's not cool? Like why?
Well, they're coming back. I think I have a pair of jean shorts.
Okay, but like when we were in high school, that like 9th grade, 10th grade. I think by 11th and 12th maybe they fell off. But like in 9th and 10th grade, when we were in 9th and 10th grade, there was nothing fucking wrong with jean shorts. Like why is it the most normal thing in the world to wear jeans? But like if they're shorts, it's like ha ha ha, loser, idiot, fucking weirdo. Like,
that is strange.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, okay.
Wait, so you're on the side of you're okay with them?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm fucking okay with them.
Because a lot of people are like, on the other side that are like, it's just society, man. It's just fucking people in society that, like, choose one thing. Like, what's not... Well, I was never a fan of, like, Tevas, but those were the shit back in the day. Those, like, Velcro sandals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know what those were. I was like, huh? But I feel like that shit was overnight with jorts. Like, it was just fucking... Like, one day it was cool. Like, what do you mean? You just wear fucking shorts that are... And I'm not talking... But let me be clear about something, guys. I'm not talking about, like, creepy-looking ones that are, like, fucking...
Creepy-looking ones. I think they're all... I mean, the dark ones start getting weird when they're dark, because even dark jeans are a little weird. I'm not a fan of, like dark.
So...
Or if there's like Japanese snakes on the back of the pockets and shit like that, then you start getting funky with it.
I'm thinking of specific. I'm not talking about ones that look like almost like they were, like regular jeans and then somebody cut them and then it looks just like tacky or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's other kind, like I'm not talking about, and also skinny jeans randomly became cool at some point, and I was like, wait, isn't that like just the optics of skinny jeans on a dude is like, what are you doing? Because all dudes like by default have twig legs that are not attractive. Like if you're a dude who
you can't put shit in your pockets, like it's just not feasible to like do anything with.
But like I think the thing that annoys me is like how it was so overwhelmingly universal when the switch came on these things, because it was like, okay, jean shorts were just whatever at one point, and then like I feel like overnight people were like, ha, jean shorts are so stupid, you're such a loser. But then like with skinny jeans, same shit. It was like, you know, nobody wore skinny jeans. Everybody wore like either baggy jeans or just normal kind of fitting jeans. And then overnight it was like, why are you not wearing skinny jeans?
Or even straight fit, like just straight fit jeans, not even have to go skinny. Like it used to just be like you would have some jeans that would fit over your boots and the bottoms would be big. And then straight fit, like more tailored to your leg, was a little bit more normal. But I feel like that was a transition. You're right with the jean shorts. It was almost like you woke up one day and if you put them on, people were like, yo, like, what? What are you doing wearing them? Exactly, I was like, right. It's Wednesday. Yesterday the sheets were in.
Yeah, it happened to me. Like I remember I used to wear them all the time in like 9th and 10th grade, and then at one point, and again, I want to stress, I wasn't wearing. I mean, there are some people who would say there's no such thing as a not weird looking jean short, but I was like, no, these are fucking normal ass looking. They weren't like high over my knee on some fucking geeky shit. They were like normal length. And it just overnight, it was like, yeah, you're a loser. Why are you wearing those? I was like, well, all right, I guess I got to stop wearing them. And I mean, I haven't had any in years.
Yeah, it's super weird. I feel like if it's like the media or something that does it to us subconsciously, where it's like,
no, I'm gonna give the media a pass on this one. I honestly think it's just like vicious fucking trends from kids. And it's like, oh, we have just, like, there was, somebody just decided, the coolest of all the cool kids decided, like, nobody wears those. And then everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's so true, nobody wears those. I don't know. Like, everybody just agrees.
And it just starts trickling down.
Yeah, it has to be that, right?
I guess it does start with the top, with, like, the super cool kids, and then just, like, the nerdy kids at the bottom. They were always, like, the last one to get the memo.
Yeah. But
they would always still rock them.
In some way, though, isn't it funny how, like, you look back now, and it's almost like the so-called nerdy kids were the ones who were really, like, rebellious in a way. Because the nerdy kids are the ones who were like, I really don't care what all of you think of me. I'm just going to do my shit. And, like, the cool kids, while they're acting, like, rebellious, like, yeah, I'm such a rebel, they're really just following all the fucking trends and following you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. They would be like the nerdy kids walking around with their fucking clarinets or whatever. Like, that takes a lot of balls to walk around, like, a high school with your clarinet.
Totally. And in a way, I'm like, sorry.
Your fucking roller book bags. You remember those shits?
Yeah.
Dude, like high school normal kid would fucking have a roller book bag, and like we would make fun of the kids with the roller book bags. But you're so right.
Yeah,
we should like be applauding those kids.
Yeah, because they really had the fuck it gene. Like all the cool kids who act like nah, I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, of course you do. That's why you're fucking skipping class and hanging out with these older kids and being like, yeah, I fit in, right? Like, but yeah, when I look back on it, like, sure, there was instances.
Well, that's why those lame kids are like the fucking geniuses now.
Yeah, they go on to get good jobs and all that stuff. Sure, I feel like looking back at it now, I think like, oh yeah, I was too much of a follower too at times, for sure. You know. But again, most people, I feel like it's 95% of people, because it's just human nature, especially when you're young and you know what the fuck is going on. You know, you're just trying to fit in. It's just like a weird period in your life where like you don't know anything, but all of a sudden you're kind of tossed into this world where it's like, you know, in high school, for our high school, people might have a different experience elsewhere, but you have a lot of freedom going to a high school like ours. You know what I mean? Like, we had a lot of fucking freedom. Like,
and you had a lot of, like, you're open to a lot of stuff. So you can see, you know, Mexicans, blacks, Italians, like cool kids, lame kids. There was everything there.
All different kinds of kids. Like thousands of, we had a huge high school. Thousands of kids in this one high school. You know, they can't fucking, like, a lot of people go to, like, smaller private schools. Like, they can monitor the kid. You can't monitor us. There's just too many of us. You have to switch, go to, like, fucking however many 6 different classes a day. You got to switch. And it's like, So we had a lot of freedom, and it just became, you could easily fall into the trap of just like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want all the time.
For real.
We ended up kind of doing that too for a while. You know, like, I feel like 12th grade, the whole thing was like, I'm not doing shit.
Just do whatever the fuck you want. I came to school in flip flops and sweatpants every day, and just like I went to the classes you went to the classes you wanted to go to. A 12th grade t-shirt.
A t-shirt teacher who teaches the class.
No, but a 12th grade teacher should understand like what a 12th grader, like they should put themselves in a 12th grader's fucking shoes, and that's what would separate a good 12th grade teacher from like a corny fucking 12th grade teacher who's actually trying to teach you some shit.
Yeah, and you know what? There's a better way of doing it than the way we do it with school, because here's the deal. You know, when you look at my grades in high school, I had like an 82, 83 average, maybe 84 or something like that in high school. And the amount, me sitting down and actually focusing and listening to the teachers and doing the work and shit, I coasted, son. I got that 84 off like barely studying, you know? So, but my point is, if you were to talk to a teacher back then, depending on which teacher you spoke to, but if you were to talk to a science teacher, if you were to talk to a math teacher, if you were to talk to, you know, many of the different fields, like, oh, what do you think of Kyle Kalinske? They would likely say, slacker, not going to do much, shit like that, because the model that we're using is flawed. Like, the model is like rigid, and it's okay, you go and you learn X, Y, and Z, and then you move on. But like, hold on now. If somebody's fucking 16 years old, 15 years old, they're sitting in a class, and you're telling them, okay, sit there and shut the fuck up for 60 minutes and listen to this older, boring person go on about something you don't give a fuck about, and you're not wrong to not give a fuck about.
Yep.
Well, then that whole dynamic is off. Like, you're putting blame on kids where no blame needs to be assigned. It's so normal to be 15 or 16 and just want to fucking jerk off all day. It's so normal to, like, you know, have all these, oh, I care about basketball, I care about sports, I care about girls, I care, you know. So it's just, it strikes me as like you're not setting up a system that's trying to foster the creativity of kids and trying to make it, you know, I don't know, just trying to make them successful in their own way and then come into their own...
Make them want to be there. I mean,
right. It's more of a...
The only reason kids like going to school is because they see their other friends and shit like that. You know, if you could somehow capitalize on that in a good way where, you know, they're doing something with their friends as opposed to like not being able to talk to them, and the only time they are able to talk to them is outside of class, so they want to skip class to talk to their friends.
Yeah, I always said I learned more. I learned more when I wasn't in school and I was just online reading a bunch of shit than I did when I was in school. Because when it's like a blank slate in front of me and a blank canvas, it's like, okay, now I get to do what I want with it. And then your interests really take you in certain directions, and you start learning a lot about certain things. And it's like, oh, this is... Like, why isn't there some sort of system for school where it's more like this? And they're doing it in some places. There's that great Michael Moore movie. I forget the fucking name of it. It was one of his more recent ones. Where to Invade Next, I think it was called. And part of it is about that, where he like goes to these places that do it differently. And
but even... Sorry, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, even on like a younger level, like if you go back to like kindergarten and like our young elementary school days... They've almost had like the blueprint in a better way. Like when you used to sit in groups and like do more group projects and the class would be all together and like answering shit. And then you start going to high school and it's like you're separated, your desks are separated, you're doing everything by yourself and like these long projects by yourself. Whereas like you went away from the model as a kid where you enjoyed and you like a lot of the shit I know like that is instilled in us is from when we were really, really young, you know, and that's a lot of the shit that you remember.
Yeah, and a lot of the it's funny you say that, because one of the things that always like pissed me off, and I feel like almost made me like, I don't know, just resentful, is all this shit that I would describe as formulaic. So like, if I remember having to write an essay about something, and like being cool with the topic of the essay. Okay, I have to write about whatever it is, X, fill in the blank, something in history, for example, something for social studies. And I'm cool with the topic, but I would always stress out and be like, wait, how was I supposed to do the header again? Because there'd be rules. Like, oh, you put
a certain format.
You put your name in the top left. You put the date in the top right. You put
double
the thing in the middle, double space with the underline for the title. And I was always like, that's the shit that always gave me anxiety and made me feel like, I don't want to do that shit because then they're laying all these rules on me and I might fuck up with that. Yep. And if I fuck up with that, are they going to like fucking fail me because I didn't do shit like that right? When it was like, all I needed was somebody to take away the unnecessary rules like that shit and be like, okay, go. Like, go. Yeah. Do your go. And then I would be like, oh, okay. Like, instead of being fearful, I'd be like, let's tackle this shit, you know?
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, people would come with like weird ass shit, but they'd be more creative. You know, they'd be like, I did my project like this. I put it, it's in pictures, or here's the teacher. That would be fucking awesome. You know,
when we've had teachers who were more like that, who were cooler like that. Mr. Mont is a good example. Mm-hmm. He was our psychology teacher, and he was just like, yeah, whatever. Like we learned a decent amount from him too as a result of that. As a result of...
Because he understood... We caught him in, like, I think 11th and 12th grade. But his 12th... Like, he was a good 12th grade teacher because he understood the mindset of, like, okay, they're almost done learning at this point. Like, the meat and potatoes of, like, when you're going to fucking learn is, like, to me, is like a 9th through 11th grade where you're just, like, that's where you're locked in learning all your shit. Like, 12th grade, you should just be chilling at that point.
Well, that's what happened with us for sure.
And it should just be more of a transition where it's just like you're going to be on your own at college, so we're going to let you be more on your own. Yeah. And in a sense, like I feel like high schools do that, but
ours did for sure.
Yeah, ours did. But you're learning most of your shit from like 9th through 11th grade, and that's when I don't know, you should be locked in learning shit.
But what he did is he found a way. He wasn't rigid, so like. He would show us a movie that kind of touches on a theory and philosophy, and then after we watch the movie, he would discuss existentialism, for example. He'd be like, oh, what did you think of this movie? Oh, well, I felt this way about it or this way about it. And then he would be like, well, the underlying philosophy of this movie is existentialism, and, and he would extrapolate on that, and then you'd find yourself interested in listening because it's like, oh, yeah, I guess if you look at the movie in that way, sure, there's like an underlying thing going on in that movie there. And, I learned a lot more that way than the, okay, kids, open up a textbook and go to page 72, section B, and because then you're just like, fuck off.
Yeah, there's no coincidence that like every single kid in America, when they see a fucking video like TV in their room, they get excited because it's just like, fuck, thank you, Lord. It's not the same thing every day. Like, it's a change up.
Yeah.
Like, when you change shit up, people enjoy it. Like, when you change up anything.
Yeah. You know what's really cool? I've gotten probably the thing I've gotten the most from listeners of the show, like, recurring thing from them, is pictures of some teacher playing a clip of mine in their class.
Are teachers doing that?
Well, there's been a few. There's been like 4 or 5 of them.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've gotten a bunch of tweets from different people across the country, and I think mostly in college, although maybe a few were in high school. But they were like, teachers playing a clip from Secular Talk. And like they'd play it.
That's an awesome teacher.
And then the students would discuss what I was fucking discussing in the thing. And they would have their opinions, and everybody would debate. And like that's... We have this smug thing where we like look down on the idea of like something that's entertaining and informative. Like it's people, if it's entertaining, it can't be informative. Fuck off! Of course it can. Who the fuck made that? You just made that rule up. That's not true at all. You can, and that's a way to get people to learn in a easier way. People digest it better when that's the case.
Well, look at they say you'll learn better when you are like singing a song or remember a song or something like that.
Oh, so I mean, like you commit it to memory more. That's why A B C D E F G H I. There's a rhythm and a thing. Yeah,
there was a Spanish song where I know mostly all of the Central American and Latin American I'm sorry, South America capitals
because of
to
the
the
song.
because of the song.
Yeah, that's
And
man.
and rap songs and like all these pop songs, you know the lyrics. So they should have a fucking class where you sing lyrics and remember math like solutions and shit like that. But like
Speaking,
if you adapt to what people like and like teach it to them in a way that they can remember things, and if your video helps somebody remember, a topic that you're talking about, then by all means play this shit. Like,
yeah. Speaking of that, you just gave me fucking flashbacks to elementary school. I remember my art teacher. I remember my music teacher. Did you ever have to take music class in elementary school? We took art and music.
yeah, I once played. What was it wasn't the clarinet. It was some
Oh,
other
the
shit.
recorder, the
The
recorder.
recorder, yeah, because it got me out of
cross
something.
buns, hot cross buns, do 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 hot
The
cross
recorder
buns.
like was hotter than a fucking pair of Air Jordans at one point, like in like the third, fourth grade.
Everybody learned it. Yeah,
That's fucking crazy. How did that? Like, why that?
it was just part of the music curriculum, man. But that's good. Like, I don't know, that was good. Like, that's a good thing. You know,
That was
like,
awesome.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember.
Every kid should play a fucking musical instrument. I thought that was like. Did you ever play an instrument?
No, I don't think so. But I was in.
Didn't you do the drums? Didn't you play the drums?
No, I never played the drums, but I was in chorus.
Oh, that's gangster.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because I think it's good to like have. It teaches you some rhythm, like, and it like you have to learn a beat, and like when I do this with my dad, like there'll be a song on, I'll be like, Dad, what's the beat to this song? And like he'll like tap his hand on his thigh, and it'll just be so offbeat. But like it's good when people like I see my brother dance, and I see like people with good rhythm, and it's like it's an attractive like
Yeah, sure.
thing.
Sure.
That's why like people like Latin people, because it's just like a nice flavor.
I actually have a funny story about how I'm such a dick sometimes, man. Fuck. Like I get like anxiety thinking back on how like my lack of filter has just made me such an asshole so many times in my life. So I'm not gonna say the name of the person. I'm gonna tell you off air though, because you know the person. But like it was in fuck me, man. It was in elementary school, and it was like it was chorus, and there was like a part in an upcoming whatever concert thing, whatever you call it, show thing, where the guys were trying out to be like the lead singer for like the chorus sings, and then they go to you and you do the fucking solo, and then they go back to the chorus type thing. And I think the song was Joey McIntyre, and I hope you always stay the same. My voice is terrible, I know, guys. I was in chorus because I was a loser, not because I'm good at singing. You know that song, right?
No, I probably have to hear it. There's some songs that like
you might, if you actually heard it, you might be like, oh yeah, I know that one, or not. But so it was that Joey McIntyre song, and I was sick for the original tryouts.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. Oh, I don't remember if I was sick or if the other person was sick. But anyway, I'll try to sum it up here. So I think I was sick for the original tryouts, but they gave me there was like a second tryout, and they like let me in. And oh no, it was the other way around. I'm sorry. I wasn't sick. The other person was sick. Okay, I'm not going to say his name, but the other person was sick. I had gotten to like the second round of the tryouts. There were like 3 or 4 rounds of it, and they would like whittle it down or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's me and just like a few other people like left for this singing.
It was like a battle? It was like
it was kind of like an American Idol before American Idol type shit.
Sort of gangster.
So I got through the first round, which I don't know how the fuck I did because my voice is butt cheeks. So
yeah, but everybody pre-puberty has a good voice. I'll get back to that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like you could kind of freak it before puberty, but then when you hit puberty, you're like,
yeah, it's a wrap. That's why Justin Bieber went from fucking singing like his balls hadn't dropped to now he's like rapping.
Yeah, that's kind of true. So I sang, and I think I like forgot the lyrics at one point or something. So embarrassing. But thankfully nobody was there. It's just like me and the 4 other people But like I'm singing, I'm like, and I like forget the lyrics or some shit. Mm-hmm. But like I thought like, man, I forgot the lyrics, but you know what? I freaked the parts where I didn't forget the lyrics. That's what I was thinking. Just a typical cocky fucking little kid, right? So we're walking back to the classroom after doing the tryout, and it's me and it's one other kid who was sick for the first round of tryouts, but the second round went and did his thing. Mm-hmm. And one of the kids was like, man, this is bullshit. Like we should have, because we were like cut. They're like, man, this is bullshit. We should have got through. So one dude said that. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Like I think I freaked the parts where I didn't forget the lyrics. Like I was good. And I was like, yeah, me and you should have made it. And then the other kid who was sick and just came there the second round, I said to that kid, I was like, he was like, yeah, we should have made it. I was like, nah, not you, because you were just like sick the first round or something. Like, you shouldn't have even made it to the second round. Son, just vicious for no reason. I was like,
did he get tight?
He didn't, but like, come to think of it, like I never had. He's a kid who we have a lot of. Were you genuinely
mad about it? Like,
no, he wasn't even mad. Like his reaction wasn't bad. Like his reaction was like, oh, okay, and just we like went along with our shit. But like he's a kid who we have a lot of mutual friends, and I never got like close with that kid at all. And looking back at it, it might be because I was just an asshole who said that shit. Like I probably
fucking your whole shit off of one.
I probably crushed that fucking poor kid. Because think about who says that. Like 3 of us are there. We just got cut, and you know.
Yeah, you were keeping it real. You were like, dude, you weren't here. Fuck you.
But I was like, you shouldn't have made it. Like I said it like on some point blank shit. But like I probably
you were like the Simon Cowell of the shit.
I probably crushed the poor kid's ego. Meanwhile, who the fuck am I to say? I fucking botched the lyrics. I couldn't even remember the lyrics. I'm talking about how I should have made it. That's fucking stupid.
It's hard to remember lyrics at that age anyway. It's like they should have fucking gave you a piece of paper or something to fucking.
Oh, but wait, I have another story. This one to this day like keeps me up at night. This one, like, okay, you have to understand, guys. It's not my fault. Like I was born without a filter, and that really is fucked up at times. So. Oh my god, this story is so bad. So I was, there was a kid who lived in my complex when I was, growing up. Mm-hmm. And I'm such a bad person. I still feel horrible about it.
Would you fucking...
It's bad, man. It's bad. So this kid is, he's my age. We were young. Again, I guess you could give me half a pass because I'm like a kid here. But it's my lack of filter. It's just like, it was just rude. So this kid, he's like my age, we're growing up. I don't know how old we are. I want to say maybe I'm like 7 or some shit, but I still have a memory of it. That's how you know that I knew it was fucked up like later on.
Yeah.
So we would like hang out and stuff, and we would, go swimming, and we would go play tennis and shit. And like one day we were playing tennis, and his mom like came to get him or something, or his mom was there with him or whatever. And I had learned from, I think my mom told me, or somebody in my family told me, probably my mom, like, oh, your friend, I won't say his name, but his mother has cancer. I was like, oh. Then, well, look, I'm a kid. I don't know what that fucking, like, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't know how serious it is, or I don't know any of that. And, she said something like, yeah, I don't know if she's got that long left type shit. And again, I'm such a bad person. I almost don't even want to tell this story because it just exposes me as such a bad person.
You were young.
So we were playing tennis, and like we were done, and we started walking, like going back to our houses, whatever. And I said, like, I was talking to the kid, and I'm like, so fucked up. So, like, what are you gonna do when your mom's gone?
Oh, damn. Did he even know like what was going on?
I think so. And like, I sensed the like, I still kind of remember like the fucking like dead air after I said that. Like fucking, like everything just kind of froze, and there was just like a. Well,
see you later.
Yeah. And I didn't. I'm just an idiot little kid, and like I didn't even know I had the impact. I was like, all right, guys, I'll see you like tomorrow or some shit, and I walked away, and
this kid's fucking miserable.
But I feel like it came back in my mind like 7 years after it happened. Like I didn't think about it at all, and like 7 years after it happened.
Did you see him 7 years later, or you just randomly thought about it?
I don't know if I saw him after that incident. That's how bad my shit might have been. Like I might have fucking made him like move or some shit. I don't know.
I've got one almost even worse, and I was old enough to like realize I fucked it up. Like so, I don't even have the kid excuse.
Tell me, don't make me feel better about me being a dick.
I might make you feel a little bit better. So I was in college. I think I was either junior or senior, maybe a senior. Me and my friend lived in the basement of like this house. That's where we lived. And then above it was a whole house. Mm-hmm. And the landlord had rented out the basement to me and my boy.
Right.
And then above us were like, how many? It was like 5 or 6 girls that lived above us. And they were dope. Like, but it would be cool because Friday, Saturday we would go up there and chill and just drink, and then we would go out. So they were all super cool. So we're upstairs like drinking one night or something like that. And like just fucking around, one of the girls said something to me, and I was just like, "Yeah, your mother." And then like so, one of her friends, like she starts like fucking crying and like just getting all upset. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like I just said like your mother, like whatever. So like one of the girls whispers to me, she was like, "Yo, her like she just found out her mom has like breast cancer or some shit like that." So that's like boom, punched right in the nuts right there. I'm like, fuck. Because I'm not a bad guy. I never want to like make anyone
you
bad.
Didn't know.
So right there, I didn't know. So I'm like, fuck. I felt terrible.
Yeah.
And then like it sort of ruined the whole night, but like people were still drinking, like trying to play it like nothing happened. She was miserable, but she was still sitting there. So son, this is the fucking worst part. So
it gets worse?
It gets worse. One of my other boys is sitting over there. And, like, he's looking at me like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why is she crying? So I go to text him what happened. But all I'm thinking about is this fucking girl.
You texted her?
I texted her. Oh. I was like, yo, I fucked up. I said your mother to this I'm not going to say her name, to this chick. Her fucking mom, like, just got diagnosed with breast cancer or some shit. I sent the whole shit to her, bro. And I was like... And then, like, on top of her crying, she pulls her phone out and reads her fucking text and, like, just looks at me. And I was just like,
oh, you fucked up twice?
It was like the worst. It was so weird. Bad. And
I'm going to give you, okay, look, here's the deal, though. Like, you didn't know the first time, and the second time was just a genuine mistake. So, like, but yeah,
has that ever happened to you where you're thinking of someone and you end up texting them? Like, what?
Fuck yeah. So now I got another story. Like me, okay, so, and you know me, like, in fact, I've probably done this with you, but since it's you, it's cool. Like, me and my buddy just say the dumbest shit to each other. Like, it makes no sense on purpose. The whole point is to fucking make, like, I'll be like, yo.
Yeah, we do that shit.
Yeah, but I'll be like, yo, suck off a camel. And I'll just send it. Finger an ostrich. Like, I'll just send some shit like that. Yeah, of course. So, by the way, hilarious, because if they ever try, like if I ever run for office and they try to get me on some shit, you sent a text message and, whatever that says, fuck like a dead emu or some shit. I'll be like, yeah, that's what I do. Like, that's what I just say shit like that.
Just like show my whole thread.
So, I ended up, okay, I got to tell a backstory in order to tell this story. So, I could tell this guy's name. He doesn't give a fuck. The other guy who I do it with is Brian. I do it with you too. But I had a guy who was a golf coach who, like helped me with my swing. And he was really good, actually. Like, I went from not scoring well, even though I had a nice swing, to he helped me a little bit. And then all of a sudden I was scoring really well. Mm-hmm. And so... And this is a daily occurrence. Like, I'll just send some dumb shit all the time. I went in my phone, and I hit Brian, and I sent a text message, and it said something like, suck my balls or some shit. it was to the Brian who was the golf coach.
Oh.
and
No.
yeah, and that it was totally never.
Did he even respond?
Didn't even respond. Nothing. Totally gone. I feel like maybe a few months later, I try to be like, "Hey, man, I want help with my swing." Nothing. Just nothing. Yeah, I've had many embarrassing things happen to me. Yeah.
I did that yesterday. So there's like this Filipino kid that used to go to my old gym, and he's super. He's like sort of cool, but he's like a nurse or something. So he was putting this status up of he put some status up on Facebook or something like that, and I saw like the perfect meme to like go with his status, but I was like, I'm not gonna post it on his shit. Like, let me just send him a message. Haven't spoken to him in probably like months, so I'm laying on the couch like. I look like a bum. I think I had no shirt on or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out how to send the picture. And I end up taking a picture of like my face. And it was just like one of the creepiest photo of like looking of me. Oh. And two, it was just fucking creepy as fuck because I just sent a picture. So I see like the little check mark like show up.
And your heart dropped. You're like, fuck.
And he's the type of dude that like he could switch it up and like because he thinks it's funny, he would put it up as like his status. I was like, fuck, this dude's just gonna like take this whole shit and like be like, ha ha ha, look what Corin did. So I was like, my bad, man. Didn't mean to send that fucking creepy photo of myself. Meant to send this shit. Oh. But I felt so old because I couldn't figure out how to fucking send the picture through Facebook.
Yeah, I've been there.
I just felt like an old ass man. I was just like, I don't know how to use this right now, and I sort of feel like
you should. Like it's one of those things where I should just be able to doot, and that's it. But you didn't know. I felt like that all the time.
We're the people that like people come to, and they're like, "Hey, how do I use this?" or "What do I use?" I don't know how to use most like gadgets and like the things I have to their most like fullest capacity.
Oh, are you kidding me? My fucking I have an iPhone 7. I don't know how to use 90% of this shit. Like I use Siri from time to time. I use the cool like features in iMessage, or if you want to send it with like fucking lasers or like yeah. But I don't know anything. I don't fucking know anything.
There's so much shit I probably could be doing on my like I just use like the notes tab, but I could probably like voice record it in there and it would be easier. But there's so many, I don't know, like just tools now. Like I have the Alexa shit.
You do?
Only thing I ask it is sometimes in the morning I'll ask it the weather.
And that's it.
And then at night I'll play music. But like you could do crazy shit. Like they give you quotes and you could fucking hook it up to your laptops and TVs and shit.
That's like me with Siri. I use Siri to text when I'm eating. Like if I'm eating and my hands are gross and I can't fucking pick up, I'll use Siri to text. But that's it.
But don't you have to push the home button or hold the home button?
No, that's the cool thing about. I don't know if it's like this with all the iPhones since they started with Siri, but if I say it, watch, I'll say it now. Hey Siri, hear that? Oh. Yeah, so it just works like that. And now it's copying whatever I say. It's putting it. It was like.
Do you think every person that's gotten Siri has once been like, "Hey Siri, fuck you"?
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's not one person that has never bought an iPhone, unless you don't have an iPhone.
Hey Siri, suck my balls. It says, "Oh." It says OOOH exclamation mark.
She used to be like, "I'm sorry, I don't respect cursing" or something like that. I watched a TV show on, I think it was ABC. They had like they had two contestants and they'd have three people that like did some obscure shit, and you'd have to guess. Like they'd ask questions, so they'd have like three people like you sitting there, and they'd be like, "I host a radio show," and then the next guy would be like, "I host a radio show," and then you would ask them, they'd be like, "Well, what time is your radio show?" And you'd be like, "Oh, it's from 11 to whatever," and they had three people, and one of the ladies was the one who does the voice for Siri.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's crazy. I probably wouldn't be able to tell the second she opened her mouth. I'm like, it's Siri.
No, but I mean, that sounds like a robot.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
At that
that's
point,
true.
It's just like they were asking weird shit. It was a pretty cool show because you...
Well, that's the genie thing. Have you ever done the genie thing?
No,
I think it's called
yes.
Akinator, the genie.
Yeah.
So you start asking, how does it work again? You say, you're thinking of something.
Yeah.
And then it asks you questions and you answer it, and it'll give you the answer.
And it'll keep like filtering it out.
Yeah.
You were on there, right?
Yeah. So somebody thought of me and then went through the, they asked like, is it a person? Yes. Whatever. Is it?
They would get there pretty fairly like quick, which is like really impressive.
Whoever's listening now, try it. Try the Akinator thing and think of me and answer the questions thinking of me, and then see.
And they had a picture of you and everything on there.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
That was a cool app for a while. If you've never done Akinator, I definitely download it. It'll keep you fun for
I don't even
about
think you need to,
weeks.
yeah. If you wanted, I think you could just go to the website online and just go through it. I don't think you need the app, but maybe.
Oh,
you need
really?
the app.
They have it
Yeah.
online now?
I think so.
That's...
I think so.
I don't know. There's a lot of fucking crazy apps that
yeah,
can
there
do a
was
whole
one
bunch of shit, like save the world.
What did I get the other day?
Do you use some apps?
Yeah, I should use more, but I don't. But I got the Face app thing because I wanted to see what I would look like old.
Oh, everybody was doing that
ugly
shit.
as fuck, man. Holy shit. I'm
But
going
they
to be
just put
one
some wrinkles
gross...
on your face, right?
I don't know. They do like a few things. Like they fucking...
Like if they really wanted to get crazy with it, they can like take your blood types and shit like that and really figure out like, all right, you probably will be balding at this certain age.
Yeah, I think I've escaped, knock on wood, I think I've escaped that one, the balding one, because...
You don't think you could go bald?
No, I think I'll thin, because I think everybody thins. Everybody's hair thins. But
dude, on the Ginobili scale, he had mad hair.
But
like, look...
How old was he when he started losing it? People usually start losing it in their late teens, early 20s. That's when they usually start losing it.
He was like a grown man when he started playing in the NBA. No, like in the NBA, his like third season with the Spurs.
But how old was he in his third season with the Spurs?
Probably late 20s or some shit.
So he started losing it in his late 20s?
No, he had a full fucking hair in his full 20s. He started losing it probably in like his early 30s or mid 30s. Yeah, dude, he's like...
That's rare. Usually people lose it younger than... They start losing it younger than that. Like you'll know early on, like, oh, I'm in trouble here. Like me, for example. So my thing is I have white hair, like gray hair and white hair.
Yeah.
And that shit, I started getting it at age 18. If I didn't dye my hair by the time I was 22, my shit would have been gray all on the sides. True. So, yeah, I don't know. If that is the case, that's rare with Ginobili because most people... But anyway...
So you said you're mid to... What was it? Mid to late?
No, usually if you're going to lose your hair, you'll start losing it late teens, early 20s. Maybe latest mid-20s.
Oh, really?
If Ginobili started losing it in like his early 30s, I feel like that's rare.
Then he must have been doing some steroids or some shit, man, or some HGH shit that fucked him up.
You know what I noticed about his head the other night is like, he's like super bald because even when he shaves it down, you see like the stubble and then you see the baldest bald of bald spots.
But he's got the stubble, but then like the middle is bald.
That's
what
I'm saying,
weird.
the middle.
He's got like a yarmulke.
It's like a baby's ass. Yeah, it's like there's zero hair there. Like that's
Speaking of yarmulke, did you see Trump in a yarmulke?
I did, yeah, and he was at the wall.
Oh, he's such a fucking just like...
This is tremendous. I'm very happy to be here. Tremendous, believe me.
What was the thing it said that he was the first? He was the first.
It said he
was
the first one at the first sitting president at the Western Wall, but I don't know if that's true. It might be.
People put photos up of other presidents there.
So maybe they weren't sitting at the time. Maybe they were. It was Obama from before he went. I don't know. I really don't know. So,
how's his overseas shit going? Besides, he gave away like a fucking $110 billion or something.
He did a $400 billion economic deal with Saudi Arabia. $110 billion worth is weapons. He's going to give weapons to Saudi Arabia.
How does that even make sense? How does that even make any fucking sense?
You know what it is, man? He's just the establishment now. Like, he's just going to do whatever the establishment wants, whatever the donors want. Like, that's just what it is. That's the best way to determine what he's going to do. Is, okay, what does the establishment want? They want to deal with Saudi Arabia. It's the same shit. Same shit with a guy who pretended to be anti-establishment. So
it's so good to see all of these fucking new videos of his wife coming out just projecting his hand. Did you see the newest one?
I did. I actually did a segment on it. And
no, you did
the new one. The new one.
Oh, where she puts her hand above her head.
There's
two. There's another one.
What?
The first one, she slaps his hand away.
That one I covered.
Then there's one where they're standing, I think just today, like before we came on air, I just saw it. There's another one. She's standing on the plane, or they just get off of the plane. They're both waving. She's waving with like her left hand. He puts his hand down and goes to fucking grab her hand, and she goes,
no.
Yeah, and he puts his hand back down. She deads him again.
Hates him so much.
Yeah, she did it again.
But again, like, who would, like, nobody should be surprised by that, because the shit that we learned in the campaign is shit she probably just learned about too. The tape of him saying, I trying to fuck that woman.
No, she definitely knew he was fucking other women and all that stuff.
Even if she thought on some level that's probably the case, you don't want to hear it. Like, you don't want to hear him saying it. Like, yeah, I was on her like a bitch. That's what he said.
I don't even think that's what she cares about. Like, she probably doesn't even understand English. Like,
no, she does. She does.
I'm just like,
I'm just thinking, if any human being wouldn't want to be with that guy. Like,
I know, but what could he be doing? So, like, I mean, how could he be treating her bad right now? I mean, like, he probably doesn't even see her. Like, what could he be doing? Like,
I mean, look, it's funny.
What could he be doing right now to get somebody that mad?
He's Donald Trump, man. Remember when? I don't know if you saw the comparisons, but they showed like Barack Obama and Michelle, and like anytime they're going somewhere, like Obama will wait for his wife. They'll walk arm in arm. You know, they'll go, but with Trump, everything is like he just gets out and goes, and his wife is like
fucking head of her.
He's like the epitome of like a narcissist who is just is uninterested in other people. And like, you wouldn't, I mean, come on, man, it's Donald Trump. He probably used Melania as his sex object for all these years and showed her no love and no respect. And like, of course there's going to grow resentment. I was saying it earlier how she stayed in New York, and the story was, yeah, she's staying in New York because of Barron and he's finishing school. Barron's young, man. Like, you know what you do with a kid when he's that young and dad just became president of the United States? You say, bitch, pack your bags. We're going to D.C. Isn't
that what Obama did? They went to school in Washington, right? His kids.
Yeah, they went to school in Washington. Yeah, I think next year they're starting him in Washington. But the point is, like, I don't know. I would have said, no, you're coming now. And you're going to have Melania in the middle of New York City needing millions of dollars of security. Anyway, my point is, it wasn't just because of Barron. It was because Melania wanted to fucking be away from him for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? She never fucking signed up for this. She's
probably tight, too. She probably needs some, like, dick in her life. You know? Like, I mean, like...
I do think
sort of gangster, and more power to her that like she's on like the fucking biggest stage. Just like, no, I'm not gonna fucking hold your hand and do this shit, even though you probably helped me get into like this country and shit like that.
So remember when Trump said during the debate, like, people say, oh, if I have small hands, I have small something else. There's no problem there. Believe me. To me, that's all. I think he's got a small dick. That's all the evidence I need.
He probably does. I mean, he probably can't even fucking see it, or like he's not. It's sort of sad that he probably just on some similar to Bill O'Reilly. Like, they can't get women just based off of being like a genuine human being, you know, which is really, it's sort of sad.
Yeah.
As powerful as he is, he doesn't have the like, just like humanness to like, spark a conversation with someone, or just be. Like, he's so awkward. I saw a video of him when they were doing a tour of the White House, like just a regular like crew of people, and like he popped out, and like he was just so awkward with people. He like grabbed a little kid and like forced them to take a picture with him, and like was just so awkward. I was just like, just be a human being, like.
Well, it's so funny you say that, because first of all, they just ordered more episodes of the President Show with my friend Anthony. Or Tony, I guess I say he's my friend, and then I'm like, is it Anthony or Tony? I don't know. No, but he's a cool guy. I've actually had a few conversations with him.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, on Twitter, just back and forth on Twitter,
in
DM, just going DM, whatever the fuck it is. I want to say DMs. Yeah. DM sounds like weirdly sexual. He showed me his DM. It was really hot. And so they ordered more episodes of that. But one of the things he said when he talks about how to impersonate Trump is he's like, well, first of all, you have to have no center of balance and no center of like gravity. Like when he stands, if you notice, he like kind of leans forward a little bit. He's got like, a little bit of a duck thing going on. And he's like, yeah, because he doesn't know like what's going on, and he can't like find his center, so he's just like always leaning in a weird way. And that's so true. He's like super awkward in that way.
He's never had to be normal. That's why like he just met somebody yesterday or today or something. His handshakes, it's incredible that he just can't give a fucking handshake.
The Gorsuch, have you seen the Gorsuch one? Gorsuch is the guy he put on the Supreme Court, and
it's just like a fucking
to the point
swing.
Where Gorsuch was like, for a second, he was like, are you like about to hit me or something? Like he had this look on his face, like, are you like, let go? What are you doing? He's so creepy.
I mean, he's probably like, if you think about it, he's probably never had to like shake hands with people. It's probably all the business deals he's done has probably gotten to a point where everything's been done and he's just the final like, yeah, let's do it, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot.
I mean, it's like super wealthy people probably don't know how to like, they don't know how to do the most basic shit, like fill up their gas or like fucking just like you ask some wealthy like stay-at-home mom, just make like a fucking sandwich on white bread, and she's like, oh, what? Like, I don't know how to do that. That's a
good point. You actually have some experience with that, working where you worked for such a long time, where you saw that.
Yeah.
And you were just like, ugh, this is just gross.
Just like basic shit that you're just like, hey, are you gonna?
Well, there's a certain character that comes with like going through some struggle, you know.
Yeah.
With having to work your way up to something, as opposed to just like, hey, boom, you have everything. It's like, okay, then why would I do that? Why would I do this? You just have no interest. There's no desire. There's no need. You never had to do it. It's, whatever. It's one of those things.
I think I was listening to, I think it was Aziz Ansari or someone, and they were just like, fuck, like those wealthy moms that are driving like $70,000 cars that are just like, oh my God, you won't understand. Like today has just been fucking brutal. It's just like, he was just like, shut the fuck up. And I had someone try to argue that with me. My old boss who worked at the ice cream shop with me, just like, he was a hardworking dude, whatever. He was like, and he was friends with one of the mothers who like,
was that person. Yeah.
Doing a lot was like fucking picking your kid up from hockey practice and then taking it straight to fucking baseball practice while your other son is at a music recital. And he was like, dude, it's a lot. Like, and I was like,
but they have like 2 nannies too. Like they have,
but it's just like that. I don't want to hear any fucking women at that point like complain. Like if you have enough money to have like a car and like actually get around, you shouldn't fucking be complaining.
Yeah, that goes. I mean, I kind of catch myself too. Like sometimes I'll be bitching, even like here when we talk here on Kyle and Corin, I'll start bitching about something, and then I always think like I have to say first world problems as part of this because we could always be in fucking Somalia, like, you know, or in some fucking mine somewhere.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, so here I am bitching about like, oh my God, like.
Someone on Twitter or some shit.
Yeah, somebody like, on Twitter or like the fucking garbage men did this thing that pissed me off. Let me talk about it. Let me talk about my bad I have negative feelings over this. Like, okay, bitch, shut the fuck up. It's not that big a deal.
It's not. And that's why, I used to hear they would be like, oh, you won't believe it. Johnny fucking hockey coach showed up 10 minutes late to practice and I was waiting. I had to get my nails done, and I told the lady if I'm late to the nail appointment one more time, she might not take me anymore. And I was like, yeah. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, zero sympathy. Yeah. I wanted to tell stories when I've taken Adderall, but I can't really remember many of them, to be honest. Adderall is it's like the ADHD medication, but basically the way it works is, it's weird the way it works, because if you're somebody who has ADHD and you take it, it just calms you down and makes you focus. So it's kind of got the weird opposite effect. Like if you're already bouncing off the walls and you're really uppity, if you take it, you'll be like sedated almost. But for somebody who doesn't have ADHD who takes it, you get uppity. You get like really buzzy, and it's like a high, not like a low, relaxed high. So
It's like a smaller version of cocaine.
Yes, it's like almost like a legal version of cocaine. It reacts similarly in your in your brain. I'm sure it's not as potent or it's not as powerful as cocaine because it's like pharmaceutical grade and it's in these pills or whatever. But I remember there was one time I took it and I was at like the library because I had to do like a fucking project or some shit for in college, like a group project or something. And then
it's like the prime time for taking that. It's like every kid in college is using that shit.
Yeah, but I took it and we were done with the work in like fucking 35, 45 minutes. And
we finished all the work and then I took the Adderall.
Yeah, like it was almost like that. Like it kicked in like when we were done. Like that's when it hit me. And so I remember I just like went back to my room.
That would be like taking a Viagra, banging someone, and then you're kidding.
The story gets hilarious. So I went back to my room, and I think I jerked off 4 times. Maybe 5 times. By the last one, I was shooting blanks. There was just nothing there. I had the feeling it was just nothing happened. And I was like, oh. And I was like fucking damn near chafing my dick off from just fucking rubbing it. So, but that's it's weird because sometimes it has that effect. Like sometimes it has the effect of, you're just super horny. Other times, like anytime I've ever taken it and like gone out, you become the most talkative motherfucker on the planet, and you're really interested in what people have to say. Like you're not bullshitting. Like how if you're just normal and you're out somewhere and somebody's like, oh yeah, oh what was that about, man? And then they start telling me, look, let me tell you this story. You're just like you sit there and it's almost like you're forcing your like pay attention to what they're saying. Don't fucking keep the story. Okay, keep your attention. When you're high on Adderall, I remember just being like super interested in anything. They could say anything. They'd be like, my brother, he's 8 years old. I took him to soccer practice earlier. Really? I remember I used to play soccer. Soccer was awesome. Tell me what it was like. Is he good? What position does he play?
Oh, so you actually care.
Yeah, you care.
It's not like bring your own story into it.
Both. Like you'll listen and you'll be like, oh, that's so interesting. And then we'll talk about anything. But it's weird. Isn't it weird how like substances can fucking change your outlook on something so much, Yeah. Like I've never done ecstasy, but people say that on that, like they call it ecstasy for a reason. Joe Rogan told a story on his podcast where he took ecstasy and he said he did it once. And he said him and his friend it's a dude, they like they were at one of their apartments or something and like they literally just hugged for like an hour. And as they were doing it, they were having this conversation about like, man, isn't it weird that like, we're doing this because of the ecstasy, but like there's just all these unnecessary barriers around us. And like, why is it not okay for me to like hug a guy? Like you're not gay, I'm not gay, we're just hugging. It's just human touch. There's nothing wrong with this. We're just hugging. It's just showing love. Like, why is it wrong? Why does society look down on this? And just because they were high on ecstasy, they were like, all they wanted to do was like feel somebody else, basically.
Yeah.
So I
mean, doing that stuff when you're not high on ecstasy, people would probably be like, what the fuck are you doing? But you almost don't care enough that when you do it on ecstasy, you're just like, whatever, this is what I'm doing.
That's right. So that's one of the things about different substances is your inhibitions go away. That's why they say like liquid confidence. You ever seen somebody who's fucking 5'4" who starts throwing down with some 6 foot tall juice head?
They get beer muscles.
Yeah, because they're like, inhibition's gone. Fuck you. Like, you're fucking dying. Fuck you. Oh, shit. Are we about to throw down? I'm about to throw down with this little guy. Like, that's what happens, man. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that is wild. I'm nervous to fight people. I've never fought. I know we spoke about this, but I don't know who's a UFC fighter, who's fucking got a gun in their back pocket, who's like could tap me out.
If it's fighting for sport, that I get. Like, if it's like UFC, like you're saying, or if it's some shit that requires skill, boxing, something like that. I get that. People free to make their own choices and people, I want to be the best fighter. I get that totally. I don't get like fights, like people who have a disagreement and then they come to fucking blows. To me, I look at that and I just think, you're stupid. Like,
yeah, they're not educated.
Yeah, like you're not people who can solve something rationally and logically and sit down and figure out what the problem is and come to some sort of an agreement. It's just like, blah, 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 blah. Just
usually, like your testosterone is just so high that like someone bumps into you in a bar and like the first thing you want to do is fight, which is just so stupid that's your first.
Yeah, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. It's just, you're not. Like, you're jumping right to step fucking 12 in the list of shit that one would reasonably do before you get to that. Which is why, I mean, assault is a fucking serious crime where you go to jail for a long time.
And like I said, everybody knows how to fucking put somebody in a submission now. I just saw that fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson, like, tap someone out. Not like a real fight.
He's into jiu-jitsu. He's into jiu-jitsu.
He was, it might have been like Dana White or someone, but he fucking put him in a hold and, like, just fucking murked him.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's fucking not supposed to know how to do that.
There's a lot of those guys who are into jiu-jitsu and fighting and stuff that you wouldn't think, but you learn about it all on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Remember Kimbo Slice?
Is into fighting. What? Kimbo Slice? Yeah, he died.
No.
Sad, man.
His son is supposedly fighting now. He's like Kimbo Slice Jr.
Did you really? Did you ever watch his videos?
Yeah, that was like the shit back in the day, like when he used to fight in the backyard against all those people.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of them, and I remember thinking, like, this guy's invincible. He just can't lose.
But he would just fight like fucking drunk, like just like.
They were like street fights, and people would agree to it, obviously, but they would, it would be like sometimes some drunk dude, but most of the time it was like some brolic fucking huge dude.
Was it? Yeah. I thought it would always just be like some drunk, corny dude, and then he had that one fight against like a like the detective or like another cop or something.
Where it went on for a while, yeah.
Yeah. That was like the one fight that like they're like, no, he's not going to be good at UFC. He couldn't even beat the fucking detective downstairs in the basement.
Yeah, but he what was his record? He did lose at some point.
He wasn't even good in the
like he won one UFC or two fights shit. And then he fucking blew it. And then he like lost.
He had one fight. I think it was like his last fight.
It was over mad quick.
No, I don't know if it was over mad quick, but the punching was just like, it was the worst fight I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. The knockout punch literally looked like it was in slow motion. I don't know how you hadn't seen highlights, but the dude was just like, and Kimball like fell down.
Wasn't there one fight he lost super quick? Like he was just like, start, over, Kimbo loses.
Maybe. I don't know, but he was a scary fucking dude.
How did he die? Do we know? Like, what was the cause of death?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know.
So, there was this viral video, called Nuts and Butts on the internet. Have you heard of this? This is going back in the day. This is like high school shit. It's called Nuts and Butts, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So what happens in this viral video, ladies and gentlemen, is there is an African American gentleman who takes his nutsack and puts it in a girl's ass.
Like
it's like a sex. It's like there's like they're about to run the train on this poor girl.
Wait, just his nuts, not his dick?
So let me explain. So what he does is he puts his nuts in. I think he does one nut at a time. It's gross because they make her like the fucking there's two girls one cup, whichever.
Yeah. I never watched that, to be honest. Thank God.
Oh, don't ever fucking watch it because it's just the grossest thing that's ever been shown.
I might have like watched it for a split second. I was just like, I can't watch it. What is it? They're just shitting in the cup.
It's like they shit
like diarrheaing,
and then
right?
they like eat it or some shit. It's just disgusting. It's weird. It's just gross. And then there's fucking.
How did that become viral? Like,
there was this.
The first, was like, I'm not going to show.
Have you ever seen Lemon Party? Lemonparty.com or .org or .net was like just old dudes sucking each other off, and dudes would always send it to each other, like fucking around, like, "Yo, man, you got to see this new fucking trailer for this movie. Click this link." And
you ever say "I love you, man" when he's in the office and he's like. He's watching something, and the guy, Paul Rudd, was like, "Oh, don't send it to me." And he's like, "You got it." And he's like, "Oh, God."
Then that's like, what it was?
It was like some shit like that. It was
So, and then there's also BME Pain Olympics, which might be even worse than Two Girls, One Cup, which is a guy castrates himself and they show it. Fucking pops his balls out and cuts his dick off. I don't know if that one's real because I don't know if a human being can actually do that to themselves. Like how do you do? Like, it's one thing if somebody else does it and you're sedated, but you do that to yourself and you're awake. So But I saw those and they fucking were, the 2 Girls 1 Cup scarred me. That all scarred me.
I told you about the one where someone put like milk and Fruity Pebbles in there, like ass, right?
I didn't watch that one. But I had heard about that.
That one was almost like one of those, like you could sort of watch it just because it's so like
ridiculous.
Yeah, so ridiculous.
Like Nuts and Butts isn't nearly as bad as the other ones. Nuts and Butts is just like it's.
The name just is hilarious.
I know, but wait, it gets better because like I got to get to the part that's my favorite.
My bad.
So what he does is he puts his nuts in this girl's ass, this poor girl's ass, and then as he did that, then he puts his dick in her pussy too. Like he fills, and then he said they call it one man DP. One man double penetration.
Damn.
And so
that's like how I live a regular life. Like, how does he go to Starbucks and get a coffee?
The story gets awesome. Wait. So, by the way, the funniest part of that video is the dialogue. Because there's like 4 or 5 black dudes there. And everything they fucking say, I've never laughed so hard in my life. If I were to listen to that audio right now, I wouldn't stop laughing. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like one of them's in the background when they're starting it, and you hear him go, "Spread your ass cheeks," screaming it at the girl, and the other one's like, "Freak that bitch out, then, Tone." And it's just hilarious dialogue, but so a friend of a friend got married recently, and we all
how did this return to Nuts and Butts?
we were all we all like watched that and listened to it and laughed and probably replayed it fucking 1,000 times because the dialogue is just hilarious. And so that was like a big thing in like college. And so the friend who I'm close with was like, "Oh, I got an idea for that guy's bachelor party. Why don't I like try to reach out to that guy who did it and just be like, yo man, like record like a minute-long clip and just be like, hey man, congratulations on getting married, yada yada." So he does it. He successfully gets in touch with the guy on Twitter. And then he's like, "Yeah, I'll send you some money. Just record a quick thing." The dude recorded the video and everything. Sent it to him. He was like, "Is that the guy from Nuts and Butts?" Like, yeah.
He said his name and shit. Everything. Like, "Hey, Bill, congratulations."
Everything. He did. It was a good. I saw the video. It was a good video. He was talking about like, "Yeah, man, on your wedding night, you might want to do one man DP. Got to get that booty to gape though. Got to
That's wild.
Get a toy, put it in there."
Didn't we know someone that fucking, when we went on, was it, I don't know if it was spring break or like our senior trip or something, they tried calling like one of these porn stars or something like that, or we saw their flyer in the hallway. I'm trying to think who it was. It might have been like a top person.
There was one time when you may have been with me. We went to like the Jersey Shore, which I've only been to like twice, and there was a Lisa Ann, like... That's what I'm... Yeah. There was a poster, and it's like, she's going to be here in a few days, or something.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought someone, like it was, like, you can call to get Lisa Ann or something like that.
I don't think so, because I don't think she does, like, personal fucking... She's one of the top... She was one of the top... She retired,
I know.
But she's one
Maybe
of
that's what it was.
One of the top porn stars in the world, so she wasn't doing, like, personal house calls or some shit. But there was a flyer like
she was going to someone's house.
Like she's gonna be here in 2 days, basically. Like it was some shit like that.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And that was like when Lisa Ann was in her prime. We were like, "Son, should we extend our trip?"
I don't even. Do you have any recollection of that? I was sick. Remember that? I got sick
of that trip. That was to the Jersey Shore, right?
I got sick during that trip. Yeah.
That was like pre-Jersey Shore, like TV show and all that shit.
Was it? It might have been like just post it. I think like just after it.
No, I think it was pre, because like we would have went to the fucking Jersey Shore. Like I would have.
Oh yeah, we probably would have went to that house thing just to see.
I think it was before, because the Jersey Shore thing came out. I think when we were in college, and that was our senior year.
Big, it got so big.
That show, right?
Yeah,
it was fucking incredible.
Like like we knew a lot of kids exactly like that. Like,
or we knew people that like knew people from the show, like, and they were.
Like we knew, like everybody. First of all, everybody had the Paulie D blowout was the haircut everybody had. I had that for a long time. Like
it was. I just remember from. It's so weird how like the East Coast had their own thing, like Jersey Shore, and then California had the OC, which was like their like surfer.
But that was also like it was like Northeast, but it was only New York and New Jersey. And maybe what's the other one, like New Hampshire or what is it, Vermont, New Hampshire, or something like that. But like, so it's only like a little area in the Northeast, and it's like the fucking Italian subculture, basically. That's what it is.
And Long Island.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah, New York. But I don't know, that was weird. There was like an East Coast and West Coast thing, but just how different the people are.
That is crazy. But we had the shit before, we had that shit before the show.
Yeah,
like a lot
that's why the show blew up, because I remember like my stepbrothers used to like drive down to New York City and go to like these crazy techno clubs, and like that was like the shit. Like we used to have techno clubs by us, like what was it?
We never went to those shits though. I wouldn't want to.
We went to the ones in New Rochelle. I went to them a couple times.
What's in New Rochelle?
They had one. What the fuck was it called? Pearl or some shit?
I don't remember.
Arena was one.
Oh, Arena was one. Maybe I went like once or some shit, but I didn't go.
Were you there the night that the kid, TK got punched? Oh, you weren't there.
No.
We used to go to, I could say, Julio. We used to go to Julio's house before the spot because he lived right next to the club. We used to play CeeLo. We used to do like $100 CeeLo rolls, which is like you have no control over that.
That's so stupid.
So it'd be like 100, like people would just, like you'd start the night, you'd be like, yo, dollar rolls, and you would just roll for $1.
Oh, that's great.
And then people would be like, all right, $5 roll. I'd be like, okay. And then go to $10, and then it got up to like $100 rolls. And be like, yo, I'll pay you in school on Monday. And people would actually pay each other.
Oh my god.
Over some CeeLo shit. Like we were on some.
Go ahead.
Did you get into CeeLo?
No, I never did CeeLo.
It was so easy.
I did.
Like you could roll in the back of classes too.
The only gambling I did was Texas Hold'em. Really, that's it. Well, and roulette, but that was like for a very brief amount of time.
I'm surprised you never got caught in the CeeLo like fad.
No, I never. Dice, I never got. Like with Texas Hold'em, I was able to rationalize it. Like I have an edge here. Like I know how to play in their strategy. Yeah. Dice is just like I'm rolling fucking.
Yeah,
dice.
I was too much of a degenerate. I was just like, oh, money? I could win money? Yeah, show me how.
Remember when I think we went? This has to be like 5 years ago now. You and I went to go see Bill Maher, and we were with Henry, and we were with Henry's brother, and then you and his brother stayed out till like 5 a.m. at the casino.
Yeah.
Henry had gone back super early, like right after we were out of the Bill Maher stand-up. And then I was like, no, I'm going to chill with you guys for a little bit. But after like an hour and a half or 2 hours, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. And you guys were like...
Yeah, I've got crazy stuff. I went to St. Louis with one of my boys, and literally he was like, yeah, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I could win money quick in blackjack because like I'll like one hand I'll bet crazy amount. Or like
you would always go to the blackjack table.
He went to the bathroom. I'm not exaggerating. 20 minutes later, I was up like $550. He was like, wow. Dude, what the fuck? I was just like, yeah, I don't know. Like, wow. I bounced and ended up gave all the money back.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what gambling is, you know? When you get that little teaser, oh, shit, I did well. Oh, shit, I lost it all.
And then they give you free drinks, too, on the floor, which is just the worst because they're just like, oh, this won't affect me. And then fucking starts hitting. Yeah,
I always lost in Texas Hold'em in cash games, but I've done well in tournaments. I'm definitely like a net up in tournaments, but down in cash games.
I was telling somebody the other day about the Norwalk story. Ugh.
Oh man, have you ever told it on air?
I don't know if I want to.
You don't know if you want to? Okay, we won't say it then. But if you ever feel like saying it, that'd be a fucking amazing story for people to hear.
That was weird. Yeah, we'll just say it. It ended okay for me, but
it's legendary. That story's fucking legendary, man.
It included the guy who ran the spot jumping out of the third floor window.
You want to talk about a teaser? That was like a fucking like shit. That was like I'll let the tip in. Go ahead, put the tip
everybody
in.
There was just like, did he just jump out the window?
Fuck, man. That's a wild story. So before we wrap it up here, I'm gonna pick one more from my little list. Okay, I don't have an answer for this yet, and you don't either. So I'm just curious, off the top of your head, what's the first thing that comes to your head? You're on death row. You have to pick your last meal. What do you pick?
Got it.
What?
Chicken parm. Chicken parm.
That quickly?
That's my shit. If it's a banging chicken parm, nothing else could fuck with it.
So you're 100 on that? But what about dessert? You get dessert too. What do you get? What are you getting for dessert?
Coffee, ice cream, mini gummy bears, and whipped cream. I got my shit.
Oh shit!
Like those are my go-tos.
I'm so jealous of you.
Why? Are you like caught between a whole bunch of things?
Because I thought of this earlier. I was like, I'm gonna ask him what he'd have for his last meal, and I was like, and then I kind of cut myself off. I was like, Kyle, don't think like make it fair. Like I won't. I don't want to bring any baggage in. Like I want to make it seem like I was just asked a question too. Mm-hmm. But the few ones that came in my mind before I like pushed it out, it was a thought. Like I was like, maybe a banging Philly cheesesteak, maybe a banging bowl of penne vodka, and then maybe like Five Guys burgers. I love on another level.
Yeah, just like, if you were allowed to have an unlimited amount of Five Guys burgers until you just got like full.
Yeah,
like because if you were like one Five Guys burger, obviously that would.
I'd say like 3. Just had 3 fries with a little bit of the Cajun seasoning on it.
Be nice too.
Yeah,
but I still.
But I don't know for dessert. I don't know. I feel like
I'm gonna say I'm not 100 on my dessert.
Because I might go like throw a curveball in that shit and go Krispy Kreme donuts. I might throw a curveball.
Anything.
And
you
go
can
churros.
fucking want a churro. Yeah, I was just thinking
churros, son. Churros are like, god damn, they're fucking good.
Sometimes, have you ever had a churro where they put like the little fucking like shit in the middle of it? It's like chocolate.
I've never had it with the shit in the middle of it. No. Crazy good.
Son, you know you're from like New York City now. You can get on the subway and there's like ladies that just have fucking shopping carts full of churros.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think I gotta find a picture. Someone had the picture. I've seen it. And then they also have, when you used to leave sporting events, they used to just have, like they used to sell pretzels outside of the stadium in the fucking shopping cart. Like,
yeah, I kind of remember that.
Like no other, like.
You said at baseball games they did that?
Well, like, yeah, football games or whatever. Like you leave the game and like you'd cross. So I used to go to the old Meadowlands and you have to walk across this long ass like tunnely shit. On the other side, there'd just be a dude. Like, think of how disgusting that shopping cart is. And the dude just got fucking pretzels chilling in there.
You know what's really good? I haven't had it in a while. But Walter's hot dogs.
Oh, those are so good too.
I think there's a new location.
They open up another location?
I think they're in the process of doing it right now.
See, I'm not a fan of that.
Well, if they make them exactly the same, then I'm down with it 100%.
Candlelight did that. Candlelight had its original shit and it was banging. Then they opened up that it's like right next door, the whole new building, and it's just like.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't as good.
I don't know. It sort of kills like the funk of like that was the original hot dog spot.
I don't think I've ever had a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
You gotta have Chick-fil-A. Oh,
because
so good.
people always tell me the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. Because I'm a fried food dude. Like that's my shit. And a good chicken sandwich like that that's on the list of maybe for the last meal ever. Like a banging chicken. Oh, you know what's really good? Have you ever had the crispy chicken sandwich from Friendly's? The honey mustard crispy chicken sandwich.
No. Friendly's food is fucking banging though.
I love it.
Yeah,
but that shit is like going out of business everywhere.
Yeah, and there's always like one server working, and this shit takes like 40 years to get your fucking food.
But it's always their stuff is so good though. I love their shit. I love their.
Is it like I think I've had that sandwich. Like the bread is like buttery toasted, and it's like a brownish chicken. It's like a honey chicken, right? I've had that shit.
It's so.
I've had it. It's so good.
Oh my god, I want to go eat it right now.
I think I had that sandwich once, and there was a cockroach on the table.
Shut up.
I swear, I still finished the fucking sandwich.
Which one?
The one in Hartsdale. There used to be one in Hartsdale.
I've eaten in that one all the time, son. I've eaten a lot there.
Yeah, there was one like we used to go there after concerts and shit like that. Yeah, and I think I saw a cockroach, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like this sandwich is too fucking banging.
You know, sometimes it kills. Like if some gross shit it'll kill my appetite. Sometimes it doesn't. Like there was like a hair on some shit. Like
sometimes, if it's too good, if it's good and you're hungry.
Half the time I'm like, fuck this, and I'll throw it out. But sometimes if you're just too hungry, like, okay, remove that shit and keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that shit is gross if you think about it. Like, it's
disgusting. If
DNA all up in your food, like,
Oh, everybody's got a banging food spot, though.
You know, they say you should never look at how your food is made because of that shit. Like, you never
dude,
want to know.
Like fucking chefs touch shit with their bare hands, and
not only that, you're eating a fucking gross animal that was just like alive probably 72 hours ago and farting and fucking shitting, and like if you're eating a delicious burger, like 2 weeks ago that was a cow just fucking just nasty ass fucking gross animal.
Why why doesn't, I've never tried it or people don't eat it, but why wouldn't like a dog meat taste good or something like that?
No, but see, that's the thing is people are massive hypocrites. Like they say, "What, dogs are our pets?" Yeah, and they're very friendly, right? Yeah, and they're like, you like them, right? You can grow a bond with them. Yeah. Pigs the same shit. Pigs have a similar intelligence level to dogs, and they're friendly. They're outgoing. You could like get a fucking bond with a pig, like a little baby piglet, and you raise it to be like a fucking domesticated thing. Like, that's a thing. So but we eat bacon and we eat fucking pork, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's delicious. What the fuck's the problem? I'm sure dog meat is delicious. So we fucking judge the shit out of, like, you know, where do they eat dog meat? Is it China where some people have dog meat? And we're like,
maybe,
this is barbaric. And it's like, okay, that might be true that it's barbaric, but then we're barbaric too for pigs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, who fucking decides? Like, what?
But that's my point is, like, so here's my thing on animal rights. Like,
can you raise a deer?
No, deer, they jump really high, so whatever, like, they'll learn to jump over, like, if you put a fence or some shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some weird animals that, like, could be domesticated, but then they just barely miss the cut type shit.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, my thing on animal rights is, like, okay, let's keep it real. We're not going to ban people from eating meat. It's just not going to happen. So, but since that's the case, I think that it should be mandated by law that you treat the animals humanely until they become, they become food. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like there's all these fucking chickens and cows cooped up in the tiniest fucking possible factory farm type situations where it's like they just lead these miserable lives and they get pumped full of antibiotics and food, and then it's just terrible and it's torture. But if you were to have like by law, it's got to be free range chicken or more space or whatever. Same thing with the cows, and just make them live like happy until that happens. Then it is what it is. Like, what are we going to do? Are we really going to ban people from eating meat? Like, I don't think that's ever going to happen. So
that was on some like Jamie Foxx was just on something I was watching. He was like the Django Unchained shit. Like they would fucking like treat the slaves like royalty before they would fight, and then they would like fucking fight to the death. But like at least like their last going out moments, they fucking were eating good, like sleeping good, banging like the wives that came in.
Isn't that like the what's that movie? The Hunger Games, is it?
Oh yeah, the Hunger Games too.
Yeah, it's like they have fucking people fight for sport. Like the rich people have the people fight for sport, and if they're better at it, then like you get more perks, right? Is that roughly? Do I have that roughly right?
It's almost like even more torture though. It's like here's the best of what, like if here's the top of what you can have, and you could bang women and like you can eat the finest food, but then you're gonna die.
Yeah, it's just
either way,
chattel. It's humans as chattel.
Yeah.
That's obviously that's immoral. For animals, it's a different story. And
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, how do we? Because nobody eats humans, thank God. Well, I guess some people do.
People fucking hate humans.
Yeah. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up, skis. But I feel like it was one of the best podcasts today. Is it?
You think so?
Yeah, because we came up like we reached deep in my psyche where we got those stories from me as a kid and the shit, and you told a story that was like.
Yeah, we went through the years, man.
Yeah,
I felt so bad, and I still feel bad. I think
if I ever saw that, too, man.
If you saw that kid, and if I saw that girl again, we'd instantaneously both know. Like, I feel on my end, we'd both look at each other and be like, "He did that shit that one time."
Yeah,
but hi.
But here's the problem: I don't remember the fucking kid's Name, I don't know. So in some ways my memory's good, in some ways it's a terrible memory.
That's almost better. I mean, like, well,
I mean it's better, but I like, it's like I blocked out a fucking traumatic memory, but I still have the meat of the story. You know what I mean?
Sucks, sort of.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel bad.
I forgot about this, but I remember the fucking most important part that's making me feel bad about this.
By the way, if there's the one in a, it's more than 1 in a million probably, but whatever the chances are that this guy's fucking watching right now. If he somehow,
not the lifeguard guy, right?
No, it's not that guy. That guy was just an older dude.
Was he cool, or was he like?
Pretty cool.
Just... Oh, okay.
He was pretty cool. He stopped liking us because I would win all the poker tournaments that he invited us to. Like I would go to his house for these poker tournaments, and then I win every time, and then he'd be like, "Fuck this kid."
He thought like he was just easy money or something, but you would actually win it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was the youngest one there.
Kid's house, and he would cheat.
But yeah, that kid, I don't remember his name. But if he's listening, I'm sorry, man. I feel really bad about that. You know, it's one of those things where you're sitting there late at night. It's like 3:32 in the morning. You're just not sleeping, and then that memory pops in your head. You're like, "Oh, what have I done?"
Really? I mean, I feel like that's something you could just be like, I was a kid. I fucking said the wrong thing.
This poor little kid who's like 7 years old, his mom's got cancer. I'm like, so what are you going to do when she's gone?
Yeah, that's true.
Who says that? That's fucked up, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to that kid. I really am.
I guess so. That seems like I'm still trying to figure out what to do.
I apologize to anybody who I've ever made feel bad. There you go. We're all about redemption here on Kyle and Corin. Sure. All right, guys. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Peace.